Now, starting to say during the visit of the vice president, the flag bearer of the party. Now, it's saying.
Well, I mean, I think that first of all, more journalists and Kumasi for and Ghana for follow vice president visit. No, you'll be the best judges. But from my friend say you mubia you did chino. We saw a very, very successful visit. Where now Vice President Ashanti region or the HR tour and tour of all the 16 regions. So before now Obahan no I call all the 5 regions, 15 regions now Akano. And you share me follow in Ashanti region, you know, strong kokra. In so many ways. One, Ushima or buy no. Ade or buy no person ne party no empenyo for a meeting na or nantief in the fee and our co true vine. Na no any pet ye a bochi ekudi vice president chi and then nante you know.
That was on the Monday, no.
Yeah, on the Monday, no. Was really, really big. And Wuti Kumasi and the be a wutie among friends, and you think, say, as NPP lose grounds, Ashanti region. That Monday, Nipa unexpectedly, Mubidin, the chief from the fear or at the court, Truvano, will tell you, say, look, the support of the NPP in Ashanti region is intact. And your core Onkoma ne party mpanyfo di no region mu ene de opese ye no region mu very, very encouraging and if you hono niema ye to aso nyina no I'm sure say we will look at some of them, but I can tell you say in total Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday niema ye dia na ye nika Kumasi for do your party no and so from some of us I been VIP now and then 2 and among the last 3 days we can say it was a very successful 3-day visit and we did say obesan ababiem na ya proper campaign. Yes,
and the all in all no it was a successful one after say in Yanetoya OTB, the Ashanti region, and yeah, for NPP. After the visit, different opinion be na.
Oh yes, say Obaya no say nipa my friend say penasem no. Obviously you see
the one on the screen. Hi Mazimiwa.
Yes.
Hi Mazim.
Yeah. That was magazine the Tuesday and the I'm out for this mobile. Look, magazine. I said, Sunday. So we apart from the event, need taking place. No, the place was rather quiet. Any poem magazine a bar magazine. Baby, I need a or papa. And it's amazing. Umu magazine from Crane catch any vice president. She said, when you know, say election or say winning. We have to make sure say Muhammad Emanema back be magazine for no and catch and so clearly it tells you say Kumasi for a boom for yes I said they now man for person emano econo. I mean we acknowledge say and they know say NPP buying at this one I say and say this could have been worse. And generally you can say this his visit was very successful. And look, magazine for they just had said the vice president is coming to the region.
That's a organic.
Oh, look, me call ground so we could and independent bureaucrat me crowd say all right, you know, I'm pretty much fresh. Independent but you could see me show the excitement elbow Solokupa said they train VIP, you know, and that would be an education magazine, but I could friends you know.
Yeah.
So clearly, you can see, the love is still there, and me de me gidi say enam sa do na Kumasi ni asanteman woman nti and we say yes so as a party and as a government we say yes chiri Kumasi for any asanteman do and I can say the past 7 years almost into 8 years NPP any Kumasi any asanteman hamo the say region bia enya no we say omano 16 regions and resource no so limited into bia de ye chene kakra and I can say Ashanti region so enya
the one talked about personality here now man for on any campaign but in Kumasi we saw Kennedy Japan out of nowhere joining Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia I did bite me to the visitor
well
because I
definitely
think now you could who from the crowd say you got the Kennedy Japan not just say
yes Kennedy he's a stalwart in the party. You cannot discount him. Presidential election primary running he was number 2 and he definitely award of 4 our party no award of 4 our Ghana na ko bia no ho a mokoko a mumu achicha mubedi nkunim enti in fact Ghana for na kra na ekase party mun kamom na nchiche mu de emwa enti I was there Brian introducing for the first time our magazine did that of course so
yes,
crowd
you see the excitement from the crowd
yes and the people were not expecting him enti obas had no money so one thing a moment who say party no nyina kan ho abom eno mu who say ye kan ho bom so so ya edi nkunimdie na ebeba enti say nkunimdie na ebeba no eno ho anigye na uhu no say no and matter of fact NPP so do yewura Canada Japan and me gidi say umu a me fan say na nkomo ka so mu buafuo ye ntoa ba I mean for whatever reason the reasons they could be many umu ati yewura Canada Japan kan na or campaign ho no umu nyina no they are willing to come back and so it's a very good sign usha enipa ne yewura Dr. Bawumia contest the election the last round and even we start to umu nyina kra na yewura Kwabena Japan he's part of he's now he's an aide in Safwa Poku who also contested is also there and yewura Canada Japan I don't know and no yeah second the strongest after Darko also hobby and all these presidential candidates in Abe join it and that unity is what we need as a party. In fact, with that unity, even if we form a government, we can't even function properly. And Ken's presence was very, very useful. In fact, after Suame no menene kasai, and he's very much excited, obesi from Papa Paye, Eddie Dr. Bawumia and Akoya. He believes that Ghanaians are better off under the NPP government any day than under an NDC government. And he only that say between Dr. Bawumia and Mahama, for instance, he will want Mahama to be the president of the republic. No, I mean in extensive conversation, and he's excited, and he's willing to come back to the trail to come and work. Who is the election there? Yeni could be a Sudan. The first few weeks or months, they are painful. Exactly,
with time,
yes,
time healed wounds.
Exactly, until now he's going through that phase. He's realized that there is a battle to be won, and we need to put all our armories together. He's one of the top-notch, one of the stalwarts in the party. As a campaign, Rania. Election and I get the impression say party leadership we are all involved bia person kan home and intina yewura can so buy so
but when you come to our region you think the New Patriotic Party more enough to warrant the votes?
Okay, that's a very important question. We say sometimes yeah, now we always look at the tangibles, you know. Yeah. But in governance, amamuno. Angel. The tangibles. Okay. There are also the intangibles. They play very key roles, you know, in so many ways. Your party, sometimes you will nuclear now. So in terms of in Ashanti region to deserve the votes of the region, look at the number of ministers who are selected by the government from the region. If you are talking about the region, so that's why I'm saying that the intangibles, right? The number of ministers from the region are boa abano. So more free ehano. And for so dear be who are timideba. Ni na de mpuntu nkakra eba kromo. I've heard people ask, you know, some questions. The project master they will go and ask maybe a minister name one or two projects in the region master and movie say Ashanti region to Abamamo. And I always ask myself, why do we do this to ourselves? Because we share governance. We say that governance is a continuum, and you know, you must not have started and finished a project. If a particular project will take 10 years, no, I start it. That's it. In 8 years, is that what started? Baby, and it's okay. So what started? There shouldn't be a problem. And you know, we share a sentiment. We do need to form the kind of road constructions that no. Don't even think about me. I'm from Suame. Don't even think of Suame. Even when you hear a quasi a part of Bantama Constituency. Look at the road construction. Look, or maybe no. Look at these road connections. All the big roads are really, really well paved. The road construction. Look at the Kumasi constituencies. Expand the road connections in these constituencies. Bantama and Suame. Mensia North and Mensia South or Asqua. There are a lot of road constructions going on. All right. Oba my constituency about 2 days ago. Me call Anumanje. I am buying one of the major projects of the government, Agenda 111. We call Suame dear. Completely done. And instead of some of our media personnel asking these questions, we should also take our cameras to these places. Oko Anumanji Agenda 111 facility now. You see, say the government is really, really working. We say the hospital is completed, fully built. And yes, sir, you should go there and see the quality, even the quality of work. It's our project now. And you must hear Agenda 111 back once or Bantama. So look at. So that one is for Bantama. Yes, for Bantama. So if you look at it between Bantama, maybe a Bantama Agenda 111 is in, and maybe a Suame way, you can even walk. Yeah. Because imagine, here and a short distance, very, very short. And we are confronting. You can see that within this stretch, but within this stretch, we have how many hospitals? Of course. A several community. No? And see, Ashanti region there, I can say without any fear of contradiction, say, look, and that is how government work. Development in area, not even America or China or even Europe. That is how government or governance works. And NPP government has done really well in the region, hospital projects, road construction projects, school are dying, regime, and I'm saying we shouldn't always look at the tangibles, because as a dream baby and nunkwa and yeshe. We should look at umpo enipa aban afa omo free regime a omo ye adwuma ewo various government establishments, either the hospitals or the military or the police or the fire service. These are all things ebia unhu sisi ho ba ni nyina no eboa region no kakra. And I believe say wo hwe niam ni ye na bruni beka so hwe holistically you see say NPP aban ayibi at the ama asanteman. And I must hasten to add, we are not saying say yet we are not done. There's always room for improvement, and the government is committed to increasing these developmental projects. The government is committed. Say in Yanuma, and say you hear the intangibles right a door supi in Fasua yinya ewo yukrum. Look, there are some things that you never think that is even beneficial. Uko your country munyina minya apart from Accra present region be pan water visit.
I shan't.
Yeah. But we just take it like that. Minka say oba na asantifo anase kumasifo nyina hwato yo. But when the president comes, he comes with a lot of things. Even in the security, any improvement. So, because Obitse, maybe another region will complain, say, if you are president by for the last 4 years, be a region once or twice. That is a complaint. It's for a region, president visiting the crop. And I'm saying the president about you who cry say a big deal. I'm talking about the intangibles, right? And Yema is so latent, we don't see, but they are there. And Mijidi say ye NPP free wah. That's a NPP abaya. And the Kumasi will be who difference. Why? Years ago, an NDC a Koba say yen try national health insurance.
Yeah.
Right? Yen capitation. Never is NPP aban or one can be message from Ashanti region Kumasi. NDC for pay baby do my test no. Guinea pig test no. Ashanti region mu choose ye. Capitation Ashanti region you choose ye. Ye anyi no eni twam if satam no na Kumasi for ne Ashanti region for ya brewie. Ope baby akoye sa test say dey or have bra manfo I don't know how baby for. Those are the latent benefits when your government is in power you get. And yeah hwe ni ye na to the beer what the pe kura nam say kura until you don't value it. Na ulusu a hona ubehunu. Now ask yourself, when I spoke about the latent benefits and I say the unseen ones, the intangibles, and this about government, how many ministers need choose to move from the region? Ask yourself.
Okay.
These are the things we should also be looking at.
Even though you are not the MP, Suame program project interchange, you know, what do you do?
Oh yes, many dear chip, papa. Yes, Pampo. I share the CEO of the company. Okay. Rango. I've met the officers of the company. I went to the CEO's office. How important project to me, and a very nice man. He happened to be a lawyer until he clicked very easily. Okay. He also told me how he wants to work fast to finish the project. In fact, to the extent that New York Junction. Now I'm not see bit that one cause a lot of traffic. My friend say, look, more yeah, my home camo project no say there. Now so no traffic you come amount for to Mr. Mo. Because of the relationship I have with him, or mum the annual be go ho a year and come a level traffic no. Yamiadum so atikra. So me follow na we share omajuma omo ye no
say
well
on TV.
Who say me my TV some time ago.
Okay.
Now who starts with introduction? Okay, baby say what here we try more around about hey nkoya na wura dia. We be say baby nkoso. So for those people I'll pardon them. Yeah, do mbon be cheomo. Nemo so wura Suame enclave from round about waterworks na nim na kwa ya clear ho papa say omo ye drains omo bubu walls now also omo ye drains. I will share the nature of the project from any moment say Suame important media we do Matthias Junction they expanded the road bridge Kessia power I didn't sue or say area ebe from ho say so there's a lot of work going on oku anim edu post office so a omu raise big pillars I hono say car eba fruit pillar no mo free anumanji afasi flyover no elho they are done with the pillars omu otuas na kwa free form wa kwesita kwa no oma biem ya ye nchen ni nyina je say oma ye drains no so and then okwa ekodru macro and so oma raise pillars so big ones so that and so macro eba from magazine ABC macro junction omu eba omu nyina so ebefa form also so no ya raise another flyover oma wie pillars no afi wo hwe ekona nima na kudo busu crew anso so a ya raise another pillar so that cars free busu crew a eba no so omu ebefa ase no mu free macro ekono afasoro opese continue we journey na.
Interesting.
Now, and no Elandia, there's a big champomine. There's a big river. So here Nyamin can be on the right. Cement should be on the right. Big drainage. And I will say there's a lot of work going on. Umugu and now I me go straight. Now I'm just going to come back. Udru takwa. Now far left her. They say Nyamiadom takwa hono as part of their work no so mu ye inner roads instead they be ya se traffic bar omu shatia cars benya ba biafa nti takwa epom ho de ya ye takwa kwan ni nyina asphalt or black aye roads no you should be there to see. Make say media for just so you can also educate people. Now that's on the left side. We call the settlements. No. Now do talk on our far right. We call magazine Febe Japan House. Now the Roma call magazine. I call garages. No, you should go there also. Yeah, quite. Yes, on the say yeah, got it. So yeah, got it. Now I quite we are. Ni paguso. Our more yeah, ejuma. And see. Party we no the party and the government very committed to fulfilling the promise and the promises obey and you can see say so far no more now many CEO no ekodi nkomo he told me the kind of things they need to do at the roundabout I'm say how na man for the say adwuma ni start here was surprised you to know say roundabout na se no the kind of lines are iguasie no.
Come here say kroni na ti e ho.
High plans iguasie no. And that's am ketua. And he told me the figure. I'm not sure I'm allowed to mention the figure on air. But there's a lot of money involved in relocating the pipes and ensuring that the pillars can properly settle at the right places. And you know, they are working on it. In fact, one of the things that CEO Nika Chairman said, Senka, Edwano Moyano, and yes, say a work community nipa air driver for nipa to the Bia. Bianca Kumadru, Cecil Kumadru, more than that. Because populated. Exactly. 80. I was say we make sure say
Utobo. Now clear ham.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's true.
Untimi ekawma club bia no mu yankoma wie. Nti wo mu ye bibia time cross ya be o see na nwumre nti wo so otwen. Go ho also take you time and they do a lot of pipe and electric line relocations. It's the delay. Senke na nka pipes ne bia no anka no so odua fa ho. But you say obedru baby akwa just wo hwe na baby o bia wo yi free ho. Exactly. So so far dear, I mean say
I was more person be enti na mo da be last year.
Oh, and you true.
Mo be yan Canada.
Oh, David. Na say obi on person be ade adwuma ko so. Omu so da bia o. And na because say obi aje say onam run about say nko an because be ohun say dey ko. They are there like every day. Enu anwumre na omu. And who say bibia emre untimi nye bibia at the same time. Bibia to no kakra. And I because say oman no esika enya ade aye so great. And into no or say we bibia o check who go first getting na abaye ekwan maybe say in your first year e bia na want me to next cracker. So we need to make sure say we na kakra. And I feel Drew Suame. I think say for those of us in that constituency, you know more Suame constituency. The woman say, "Ya we na ban free so na see nwi sa project na na betu ye Pempe college any more problem of course and na betu ye."
There be no more can. So okay, assuming the NPP loses this election,
that project will never come a vote boy for maybe the next 8 years.
That's sad and much as one no.
There be see the year. It is a
one yen in tem.
And American chim say BBI emre. So I say
the finna dress so ha.
And there's nothing wrong with it because we say governors they continue.
Of course.
Idea in there be a trust into we kakra. Now say the Accra from Accra over Bokwasi Intergena. Say there's a 10 lanes.
Yeah.
Osha, because the BS NK starting in them. Bibia and kakra fe na ozo time adru so. Enti enye kumase nko akra so de ho. I no so no. Yeah eba. Me meet that project na che. And you see projects from inception to implementation, it takes time.
Of course.
So, but sometimes even the architectural drawing. Yes, it takes time. And you see, when say NPP and send what they don't know, they say, "You shall see actually, I feel your dear son, it started about 4 years ago. Planning, no, I drawing, no, I feel no, I could seek your funds, no, and sana. Who be awarded contract, no, going through PPA crowd, no, it takes time.
Yeah.
So before the contract is awarded, and look at sometimes 2 years. It's part of the government bureaucracy. You won't know Krum. So it just doesn't take a day.
Yeah.
And you can see say the idea see a year some interchange. It's been there. It's been on the drawing board. And our one yasha say from securing the funds, from drawing, from PP, they call nipa no. So the pointer, you be awarded now execution. So from inception to implementation takes time. And until afena no nche say afena ye dwene Suame ho. Adwene ho that.
It looks like road infrastructure there. Under this republic, I'll give it to you. This current.
Now we say na me tafo, right? We say otra Ebenezer Moshu, no, now just before you get to Tafoja.
Yeah.
On the right, me too many here for more. This is not a quite amount for apply. Construction going on, giddy. Hey, that Tafo to Chrome has it's part of the Tafo constituency. And yeah, a Juma or Hossa.
As a road, dear,
because you see, it's very important. Look, yeah, we are quite crying now, and my country never look also because I would nice baby near Bear Quina. When you say the price of that building goes up by about 40 or 50%. A quina, in fact, so a down person rent could be a cramp person rent, and our tones will be a person better.
Angel.
But the quantity fix it pa. Let's say, yeah, asphalt at 2 anymore. Will be a drew hard of a set or better down. So the value of the buildings even go up. And so MPP Abayano, you know the importance of road construction in the development of a nation. And until the attention is on, they say, ye or my mama, and in a business. Sometimes the hours we spend in traffic, see, you don't spend that much time in traffic. Let me give you an example. Now, me free Jinyase and a member. Now do Jinyase, now do how far right, I do Sergeant and so this year now we drew a squad. That's what offer a doom abedruha. Imagine sending yes, a quite can be seen Mukran. Patrata Siminia. So it tells you the importance of road construction. Sakwana, aircon. I'm not going to for one high.
Yeah.
Ubu wa previously, now so we do the 8, because of that traffic. It was so sorry 5.
Yeah.
And you crown Uda, Untimi, and now we but this time around, was sorry 6 krana. He still has a good enough time to get to work at 8 and see ultimate man hotono. You see, if you don't consider all these things, that's why sometimes I tell the latent benefit of some of these things. And I'm saying the panel obia utnanze ultimate that year na ultimate so at the right time. When you know who say about cry baby. But you look at all these as part of development. And yes, me that's so say when it comes to road construction. Now do I buy Albon home papa. And recently minya road minister cry by a crown so there. I had the Makuhunu cry or person be so make be say I'm very, very happy about it. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
One major way had to do with the economy.
Yes.
Among force.
Yes.
The name of wedding economically.
Yes.
And we are not boarding.
Yes.
Near master the tier.
Yes.
And Koye.
Yeah.
So, Binum say, Ebehamo.
Well, Minya, no credit say, near my wedding economically. Do you born? Yes. We are the nipa with me the dinner and hotel no kakra na ne pressure crab from nti when they can small tears and we just said the government President Namo a kind of some time ago said what say or mamu ayedin and we are not running away from the fact that I was here solve our problems no na me just say sa mamu ayedin no and yes, na nado, and then I buy and the pese or manum yedin. I think that if you understand it from that angle, it will help us. Now, if you say Nanado or call say only the nipe and they say a percent or handy over the reins of government to an NPP government. Now, what should I say? Or my munya de magana for boom tuntia nabai. No. The reason why, and I didn't say we are saying, enjoy. Be any say we are say, and nema who are called actually, and we acknowledge. Say when you debiana bit me at the some reasons I justify what is going on, but a ban on Ghana for your see say any many be who is beyond the reach of the government. So yeah. I always say, Ukofanya Maba Ghana first now container rent here $2,000. Is we rent container Kofanya Maba Ghana at $12,000. So I say just the container freight abu akostro. Into nipa wakoto sa ade no or the bar general obetum. It's me find say ebia mpaboa bi efri abrechi ba na atade bi efri abrechi ba abrechi so ya so to nyama mo ho enti ebia mmiri bia na atwam na e oni oto no $10 ho edipa no okofa no ko say adu $15 enti first ade ne boa ya de abrechi one ode eba no freight eso aka ho ama no so akosoro enti nipa no de bedru ha na afi no also atom. And sometimes that is what causes these inflation. So about that here, and I'm sure say all the tax breaks are Dr. Baumia can say or the Bema Ghana for any edge for no Nina Babua ama the kind of pressure no ayekum no akofom. Again, the money amabo, especially Dianebo air deal krumano, a fuel and you understand say petrol bo costra na enema susubo air costro, you know. Abano is sad. Senka ebia bodia na se barrier ebia otono 10 cities no ebia na edu 20 cities. What it is that sometimes when it comes to fuel prices now you don't have control over it, and you know not nebo ekostro. I believe that the government knows that these things are not helping, and you know ye bibi afa ho say the be Ghana for ho ebedwuo now me jiri say I say the do baby a tutu akwatua mu kakra. Government has done that for some time just to cushion the system so the be so yes, the economy has been in some difficulty, and now we can attribute it to the government. Some of the reasons, the imported inflations, and truth be told, it's all over the world.
All right.
In fact, you know, moment to be a becatcho, say a rich man now our quote it be a $1 uncle you see $5. See, we are saying, and look, we can't also run away from the fact that Sani Menino, because of Yaria Bonnie see and into qua air cost we are saying my mind and I'm at Sani Mano Abba. And think a cracker, made immediately say about we cry to me a manager and Yema Yakakra. If he had been the other party in Nimna, things would have been way worse. And the kakra we acknowledge na me say ye bibi nso afa ho na nyame adom na the next administration the kind of tax breaks that Dr. Baumia proposed no and so bebu ama yekomu ahehan kakra.
Okay, now despite all these challenges obobo so any ade breaking the aid is it breakable? Okay, we are breaking.
Minua me that say you see NPP just say you break the 8 keke o e say you bu man ye na enim say ye kire yensemu kire Ghana fo a omu beti ase say omu besa amayen another 4 years say yemfa enhihye oman no me I don't even want to talk about break the 8 per se. Yen same the see a chire magana 40 ase and nti enra na me wo Suame dwom after doc e ba ekọ no me ma wen say me kwa ene me e ma me no ma omu edidwa e wo yedwom. I was there for about 2 hours. All right, ye ma me no bi ese omu ka che say monyere mo ho na ye mpese aban be free so na ye ma omanya school omo ko ni free no yetwam asema ma me bi e ka no ho no asema nyire mo ho na ye mpese aban be free so na ye ma omo ko school free no yetwam eninti no ye ma me nom ne ye nua nom ne papa nom ne omo hunu ene ba mu a che se ye pese ye san e de another 4 years e ka aban ho now say ye betumi a break 8 na na say bet Ghana for beto aba ma ya eye ne ya ye ene de ye be mu ma hu say betumi aye. And so far media me sha se ne amanfo ekasa ye no ma hunu say Ghana for aye crowd say ye chichi yensem yi mu muti ase a omu beto aba ma ye eniti ye ma me ya o ka say ene obi a mefa ne say otewazo media NPP ba ya me hu hweti o NPP ba ya me hu hweti me nto aba maame na owodwum no wo hunu se ne ba anya school a okọ eno beboa na ma ne ba nso beye ni pakese eno a menam edwumasema maame bi aka kire se me ba ni o me ba se ya na me ba beye ti o wase me pese dash me ba it will amaze you and me jan ni di nkomo se na me ba beye we de me ba ni na me ba ndi also be doctor no ye doctor oba beye MP na so that would be very nice. Enti sa ni pay ne ba akra no so pese doctor New York be MP no. So when you school and how is this child going to achieve this dream? And see, yen no ma omo de omo hunu party no mfa so ne aban ho mfa so no omo no say yen hwe ma ban enko so a entina se. So me de megidi say enam nyuma pa ban ayenti Ghana for ebesa de another 4 years akan ho say yen fa hwe ne nsiesie oman no yen fa hwe ne moa omoma yen fa hwe na yen fa nti oman enim. Enti I have no doubt. Look, how do we do it? You Dr. Baumia, he's shown that he's a different presidential candidate altogether. You say we are Nipa air contest election. Really speaking, you Dr. Baumia and you John Mahama. We can talk about the others. I mean, I really don't care, but I think that it is between Dr. Baumia and John Mahama. So you ask yourself, of these two, Nipa mini, why in the war a command paper say obetumi asom oman yi Ira John Mahama na ohwe niema obeye ye of course Ghana for a diebufu to abetia no over 1 million votes difference ene to aba epamon okotena asie no okotena abontene for the past 7.5 years e dia no wetimi adwene ho akase mede ba look, this election, we need to be very critical and we need to critique our presidential candidates. Here, John Mahama, a DNA or can say, me ba be differently. I'm on my etumpo. He's not saying anything. But Dr. Baumia has shown, say, he's visionary. He's shown, say, he's thinking. Really, he's thinking. He's thinking outside the box. And say no ewiase adru no one pay obi saa na ope obi on the office on the obeni namua of 4 years na oba no 1 year dem say that honeymoon yemfa ma no kogina nia 3 years aka no na ode abase ode ebeko ode abegina ni. He is not even contesting again. There's no accountability. Trying say obi meto no so aba into oye bibia na he doesn't even think of the consequence. Sa ni pay me. Why not person to Abamano? Dr. Baumia has shown that he's a generational thinker. And Yema, especially with the kind of digitalization he's speaking about. Look, if we are doing that's where we're all going. How can you tell me, say, Ubia or Dachi who say no? We will not consider him. He's right. Far better candidate than Ira John Mahama. And I believe that Ghanaians will look at all these things. They will assess them. Young for Montuns and Niamusum say, where they were the president da. He's been a president before you need to bet me or buy no or be say Niama. We will need be that. Even as a vice president, you have heard the initiatives he's brought into the government and what he wants to do in the future.
Is he running away from Akufo-Addo's administration?
I don't think so. See, we see governance, no, building blocks. Ultimately, and start all the time from the bottom, and I say from ground zero. The Obiya, no trust. It's me fan say Akufo-Addo. Suame interchange. Yeah, I could see Brema Cockrum. Oba so be over to us. Offense. He's continuing. He's not running away from Akufo-Addo's projects.
But here clearly he has stated that there are certain things
exactly
will change.
Yes, and that is
for
the
example,
case.
one thing I love about Ninsem Nokan.
Yes.
Oko Porter.
Yes.
It will be charged not in dollars again.
Yes.
Yeah, charge will contain about it will be in cities.
Yes.
It will peg in cities.
Yes.
Now young conco $4. It should cost rather fee near mano at the end of corner a cost about pegging cities now fee at me boy. I think it's one fantastic idea.
Great.
Says here that's not what is happening.
So
the administration so won't be. He's the vice president. Of course, he's not the number one.
Exactly.
The final authority in your one.
Exactly.
It lies with the president.
You see,
now I can't take it away.
What's near Massey? So you see, we're able to explain it this way, and that's what it is. Look. The kind of governance structure we have is an executive presidency or executive governance. The decision as to whether it lies with the president, not the vice president.
Yeah.
We say your court, me as a lawyer, your court, your sentence will be to death. You need that presidential warrant before the person can be executed. The person who can do that,
and the president,
Nana Akufo-Addo. So it tells you that the executive power resides in the president. Okay, he takes the glory and the blame.
Yeah.
Adebia, your person no mem say president anka say enkoso, especially when it has to do with the executive decision. Enkoso. The vice president cannot do anything about it. Yeah. And you see, okay, so my administration, these are the things I will do. We should understand, because this is not his administration. He is a part of the administration, but it is not his administration. The administration is Nana Akufo-Addo. It's Nana Akufo-Addo. If in his view, or no, he ran an election and we win it. You see, Ghana, unlike the US, ballots now. Vice president will pitch a crown count. In the US, the vice president picture is there. In Ghana, the vice president will pitch a crown count. It's the president near to a man, or no, in his belief, or free say ye niema e de niema free abrochire ba na say ye quote in dollars na ye changing cedis na fe ye tax on it netua. He feels that this is not fair. But me feel say, look, only the fees are there ba ye ni bibia in cedis. And I think that makes sense, because okofa there ba me fan say okofa no e be an exchange rate na 1 to 10 omra no na say 1 to 11 na product no we go to the cost of the project. They are multiply the new rate, There they are charging. There's so uncertainty.
Yeah. It's like, you don't know.
You don't know.
How much money do I need to clear these goods from the port?
Exactly.
You are always not certain.
Exactly.
You're always not certain. But when it's in cities, you know.
So because and the ends is
it's pegged here. Until if I bring this 40-liter container, I'm supposed to pay 10,000.
And that's what it is. And so that is what he believes in. Nana Akufo-Addo, in his wisdom, feels that what the current system is okay. He said, look, Ofi said the ne Togo, ebe who amount for the nema efa Togo no, say undercutting businesses a wokruma, especially in your magazine. Obi de nema ekofa Togo no de ba na Ghana need ne de fa temahabot no eba, and never the same product. Obo said you didn't dey free to go buy no, or turn the 10 cedis. Now what would do the fat temano, or turn 12 cedis and now 15 cedis. Unyam faso. And into no what do the okofa temahaba what you tax amagana. Now they go. Now do den the okofa Togo no. What is so not all turn no good magazine for it. What's it be and idea? It's not fair. And into no what he would do, and he say Togo do more tax no. Duty no 10 Ghana, so they be 10, so there will be no incentive say what do they have cover to go na fe nyina no ya beton nema no at the same competitive rate. And I think it makes sense. Ebeboa mimi nua no ma mo ton spare parts ewo Suame magazine ene eni mo kofa nema eba no say we don't have to smuggle goods from Togo.
I don't know what you need to do from now to say better about the man for say the executive power doesn't reside with the vice president.
Exactly, it doesn't.
But it's in the president.
It's the president.
And
he's the final decision maker.
Of course.
And it's Mefan say Moko cabinet. Okay. Now Moko sir from the, let's say, the economic management team, a subcommittee of cabinet.
Yeah.
We are now about cabinet. Cabinet I make a decision say your person say no task crown your teso. When you now Moka say we are president no. But now Kunya must say there be I maintain the current position. That's it. So he's the final decision making person. Let me just tell you this: if you watch a brand America for radio Obama no Osama sorry. If you watch the videos and the stories, after all of them, the national security, CIA, and the Secretary of State, and even the Vice President, they had a go on what should be the position. Say whether to raid the guy's house, whether someone throw bomb into and someone play in no one capture no. They all made their opinion. In fact, I'm told the Vice President then Biden, his position was that no, my American soldiers conform here now there will be bloodbath, no more kuku American. Yes, our administration will come to an end. And we should just drop a bomb there. The guy that and Obama was asked, how do you know this guy is really dead? And it may come another story. And the whole committee they are shrine, I'm a mouth for all kinds of things. So they all made their decisions. And Obama called the national security and then the military head and said, it's a go. Monko. And that was it. And his position was that Yonko, Yamfa military phone, Yamfa 2 helicopters. Now Muntinsi, Monchano. The first thing they did was to take his blood sample and his fluid. Checking the DNA because nobody.
When I say
so the final decision rests always. If it's an executive presidency, it rests with the president, and that's what it is.
All right, here the executive power rests with me.
Exactly.
The program wrote out. So finally.
As I said, hosting me on the page, it's always an honor to be in this studio, actually. And said, maybe can share. I have a seat here.
Of course.
Anytime you have and so I will always take you up on that. And I'm happy to say, Mama Missa, Akonya, and Aminama Bekasa. The Mestre Asantamai, and Kumase, and Suame, and they say NPP, you're joining Asantamai. President or General Santamaho. In fact, Vice President all corner to baby 2 days. I haven't gone to be 3 days. But there were places I know corner just a day. I haven't gone to be 3 days. Just to let you know, say or General. In the part groups or no Mishia or ne a queer Fushia or ne Heba Association for Asia or ne businessmen Asia or ne a software Asia or ne Cremo Fushia or Nikumasi traditional council Asia. Ushia optum Suanemu or Ba Suame Constituency. Oko asokwa oshia youth a omo krum ha onu obia di nkomo vice president say onu de wire crowd say obesom na wasum asanteman wasum my Ghana na waboa ma yakoyanim me de minim say onne Mahamadi ye dumu compare vice president is miles ahead onu de betimi aboa ame o me 2 points Ghana for ne asanteman ene